everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is all about making money from home. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So I think now more than ever it's so important to try and think of ways that you can make money that is outside of your normal income, so your normal kind of 9 to 5 job, so to speak. Lots of us rely on being paid by an employer and we get one paycheck a month, but if anything that recently has shown, it's the fact that that can be quite precarious, and if you've got some extra time that you can think of where you can find in your kind of your weekly schedule, now is a great time to start thinking about how you might make some money from home. And I have 5 different ways for you today just to get you started thinking about that. So the first one I'm going to talk about is blogging. So I blog over at thefrugalcottage.com. I've been blogging for nearly 6 years now, and I do really enjoy it, and it is an income source. My own personal experience of that is that it can be quite temperamental and it doesn't always bring in a lot of money. However, there are a lot of very successful bloggers who make 6-figure incomes from their blog. Now, there are various ways to do about this. You can have sponsored content, which is where a company or brand pay to have a blog post with a link to their company within the blog post. They might provide you with products if it's that type of thing. But sponsored content is one of the main ways to make money from blogging, and that's as soon as you set up a blog, you can start accepting that if you want to. Another really good way through having a blog is affiliate marketing. So if you link to, say, an Amazon product and someone clicks through that link and purchases something, you might get like 1% commission on that. A lot of fashion bloggers make a lot of money that way by linking to their various different items of clothing that they might be wearing in a photo. And lots of people go and buy the same jumper, but they earn a tiny commission on every single purchase, providing somebody goes through that link. So again, affiliate marketing, if you're good at that, can bring in quite a lot of money. And you could also make products. So I have the Frugal Cottage shop, which has printables, so people purchase like a PDF file and can print that out. Again, lots of people make a lot of money from products. You can also have advertising. Now that does depend on page views. The more page views you get, the more people reading your blog, the higher you earn from advertising. Lots of advertising for blogs have a minimum page views requirement. But blogging as a side hustle, making money at home idea is really easy to start. Buying a kind of a domain name and a blog hosting thing. There are so many cheap packages out there that you can get started with within minutes, really. So if you've ever been thinking about trying a blog, have a go, see how you find it. There is something really nice about being able to connect with people who want to read information in your niche, in your subject. I've had lots of lovely conversations with people about finances through my blog, and also it has given me opportunities to be on the BBC and on Channel 4 and in various newspapers. So if that sounds like something that you might like, then blogging is a good way to make money from home. The next one, so I've mentioned this before and I do have a video coming up about this, but I do believe that literally anybody can offer this service because we've all got something that we can offer to help somebody. And the second one is a virtual assistant. So that's where you do admin of like multiple kind of different types of for somebody else via a computer. So one of the most kind of obvious ways to demonstrate that is you might write emails to somebody or respond to emails. If there's someone who's kind of, might run their own small business and they do not have time to sit and respond to hundreds of emails a day, you could do that for them as a virtual assistant. You might have set up kind of like obvious responses to different questions. You can also have like what are called canned responses, where you click a button and it appears anyway. But that could be one service you offer. I've got an entire video coming up about this, about the different things that you can offer as a virtual assistant, but pretty much the list could be endless. You could write newsletters for a blogger, you could write blogs for a company kind of website, because that's not what they're good at, but it helps a company kind of be more personalised if they have a blog section within their website. You might take photos for somebody else and edit them and then send them to that person. You could write blog posts for another blogger. You could I don't know, the list is, there's so many things you could do. You could reply to social media comments, you could like manage social media groups if they have them. There's so many things you can do as a virtual assistant, and most of the time they are things that you probably do anyway. So for example, if you are on Facebook and you are members of a group, you understand how Facebook groups work, and you understand the types of messages that maybe you would want to be filtered out if you were an admin of a Facebook group. That's something a virtual assistant could offer. The kind of the income you could make from that, you could either charge by the hour or you could do packages depending on what your client is asking you to do. So say they want you to manage a Facebook group. They've got a Facebook group, it's a really busy Facebook group, they don't have time to kind of sit and kind of watch all the comments and kind of monitor those. They want to outsource that to somebody else. You could either charge that by the hour, or more likely you could charge that as, I'll do this for you, this is what the cost is per month. And that's how you go forward. And that, again, lots of people start off as a virtual assistant kind of on the side, and then progress to getting clients that kind of pay, especially if they're doing more than one service, and have made that their full-time job. But it's really easy to get started. Look out for people asking for help or advice. Look out for local companies too. They might post on, especially on Facebook, it seems to be quite common for people to post. Make sure you make it clear that you offer that as a service, and you'll find that once you get 1 or 2 clients, it then kind of becomes a word of mouth thing, and if you want it to, you can build that up. It is more, you need to kind of jump and say, hi, I do this, and see how it goes. But a virtual assistant can be really easy to set up. All you need is a laptop or computer, or even on your phone if you're doing social media stuff. That's how simple that could be. You could send an invoice through PayPal, and again you can have that on your phone, and just see how that goes. But virtual assistants do make a lot of money because they are an in-demand thing. It's outsourcing your time or lack of time, and people take that off you, and as long as you can prove or provide the results of that, then that's okay. Good one to start off with, and one that you can scale quite easily. The third one kind of links in the same way, I suppose, is to do copywriting. So then that links into writing for somebody else. So for example, again, if I go back to the companies wanting like a blog section on their website, but that isn't anything that's like somebody can do within their company, they will outsource that to somebody else. There are a couple of websites available for that to get started. The most obvious one is Fiverr, fiverr.com, it's got 2 R's. You kind of set up a profile, say what you offer, and kind of be specific. So you might say, I'll write a 500-word blog post within this time frame, it will cost you this much, I'll charge this much. And people can click on that and get in touch, and turnarounds can tend to be quite fast. And obviously the sooner you can get the work done, the better that looks for the client. And the more kind of 5-star ratings you get on there, the more likely it is that someone else is going to click and say, yes, I'd like you to write this for me, 1 a week, 2 a week, whatever. And again, that's something you can scale up, but it's also something that you could do on an evening. So you know, when you've got a bit of downtime, maybe the kids are finally in bed, you've got a cup of tea, you can sit and write a blog post, especially if it's only 500 words, maybe in like an hour or so. And if you're kind of sat and it's time where you'd be kind of just sat watching some rubbish on the TV, which is totally what I do, then maybe you could squeeze that in there. And again, once you kind of get more and more recommendations on there, you'll find that more and more people get in touch. The fourth one, now this is a bit different, this is something that you can definitely do in your spare time, are surveys. Now I'll be the first one to say, surveys on the whole do not add up to a lot per month. And anybody who tries to tell you otherwise, probably exaggerating what they earn. However, again, like when you're sat in an evening and you just kind of sat on the sofa, have survey sites open and just do them while they're sat there. Some of them take like 5 minutes. There's a really good site called Prolific, and it's kind of university surveys, and you are screened for which ones you are like eligible for, but they literally take minutes and they pay quite well. There's YouGov as well, it's a different survey site. You do have to hit the £50 threshold to get that paid out for. So it's slightly slower, but again, just kind of there. You know when you see like adverts and it says 95% of people agree with, that comes from a survey, that they've sent people. So that again, and over a month, especially if you're doing a time where you would be sat kind of doing nothing much, again, that can add up. Lots of these either pay out as PayPal, or you can get them as vouchers for different things. So say Amazon or eBay or Costa Coffee, as I keep trying to mention. There's loads of different things you can literally get kind of e-vouchers for most chains now, so that might be something to look at. The Amazon ones are quite good if you want to kind of build up a stash so that you can order Christmas presents or birthday presents off there, for example. That can kind of, people do like present neutral challenges where they try and earn enough Amazon vouchers through surveys to then offset the cost of buying Christmas present, for example. But it's just an idea, but again, something really easy to start from home. All you need is a laptop or your phone to get started. Just log on, register and get going. And the final one I think is slightly different, but me being me, I have to mention this. This is something we do, and if you're not new here, you'll know this anyway. But I could not talk about ways to make money from home without mentioning dividend income. Now, it's my favourite income source. I've talked before about how I'm trying to build 7 different income streams, and if you've got any questions about that, feel free to leave them below. But dividend income is one of the easiest ways to make income on your savings as such. Now, this comes with a note to say that current circumstances have made that slightly different to normal. But dividend income normally is a great way to provide that passive income stream because it's more passive. All the other 4 that I mentioned are fairly active in their nature. Yes, once you've written the blog post and it sits there, then fine. But virtual assistant, copywriting and surveys all require you to do something. Dividends are different. Although it's handy to keep an eye on the news and the news of your specific holdings and general economy overall, dividends themselves, you don't have to do anything to get them. Once you've purchased them, whether it's in a fund or shares, I'll leave a link below to my how to get started investing blog post that explains all about this. But once you've invested in that, you don't have to do anything to get that money back. You just have to sit and wait. If you've seen YouTube videos about how you get paid money while you sleep, dividend income is one of those ways. Because it just appears in your account because the companies have paid out because they've done well. Again, not kind of current climate permitting. But dividend income, especially to begin with, can seem small, but it's a bit of a slow and steady wins the race. And I have mentioned so many times that you can start investing from £25 a month. So if you can do some of the other ones and get some money together and start investing, then you'll get more and more income streams building up. And that is, in the end, the ultimate goal for most people. The reliance on one income is so temperamental when that could go at any point. Now, obviously, some of us have jobs that are slightly more secure than others, but if you rely on someone else paying your paycheck every month, nothing is ever that secure, because things could go, as we've found out recently, things can change in an instant and all of a sudden it's no longer there. I've got friends who have gone from earning quite an okay amount to earning 0 because their type of work that they do is not required at the moment, and so that their income has just totally dried up. So if you're thinking about making money from home, then these 5 options should give you a good starting point. And once you find the confidence to say, yeah, okay, I'm going to aim for £100 this month from however many different sources you want to try. Once you hit that, then aim for £200 a month. And kind of see how that goes. Now, the only premise is you have to, if you earn over the tax allowance, you have to pay tax, you have to register as self-employed. It's not as scary as it sounds, I promise, but you don't want to get in trouble later on. And I would suggest setting aside some money to pay taxes and don't rely on just having it when you get there. But these 5 tips on how to make money from home should give you a good start. And I do all of these apart from the copywriting, which I have on my to-do list. My never-ending to-do list. Please tell me someone else has one of those. But that's it. I hope this has given you some inspiration to think about how you might be able to try and make some money from home. Obviously there are lots of other things I've not even touched upon, like selling online, or I don't know, dog sitting, or there's so many options once you think about it. But have you got any other ideas? Leave them in the comments below. I love reading comments from people once they've left them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you're okay and staying safe, and I will see you again very soon.